What is poppin' friends? Pepega Hammer here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over the first week of SSBL Season 5. After 5 months, I think, of a break, we finally resumed the best league in existence, of course. So yeah, I've been going on a little bit of a break with Pokemon. Just recently started getting back into it with some tournaments and of course SSBL now. So yeah, week 1 we are playing against NDT, who is of course an amazing battler. He 6-0'd George last playoffs in season 4, so he's of course a very good battler. Now the matchup, I'll be going over my draft first because it's the first time, and yeah, I should probably explain a bit of it. So I got Dragapult, Lycanroc Midday, Medicham Mega, Rillaboom, Mandibus, Nidoqueen, Metagross, Lantern, Primarina, Conquer Null, and Pineco for the memes. So I was, I think, 4th pick or something. Dragapult made it back to me, so I was like, fine. I always wanted to try it, so just kind of build around that with some standard garbage and familiar cores. Of course, I have the Metagross, Mandibus, Null core again, which was very nice in the past. So yeah, looking at the matchup here against Andy, he has some interesting things. I'll be going over his draft first, of course. He has Latias, Neolego, Moltres, Roserade, Rotom Frost, Bandit Mega, Azu, Ditto, Girder, Melmetal, and Shuckle. So something I think everyone notices here is he doesn't have a ground type and he doesn't have a ghost resist. So that was pretty much my my starting point. I think the ghost resist. Dragapult just goes in with the specs. So yeah, I pretty much figured I can win with Dragapult here easily. Now there are a couple of things on his draft that are very scary. Melmetal, mostly, I think. Melmetal is just so strong and it's really hard to wall it, so I think getting damage on that early, it's getting damage on that with coverage on every mon. If I can, that would be really good. And yeah, Ditto. Ditto is always an annoying revenge killer, so I have to make sure that my team doesn't lose to itself, if that makes sense. And then there's Azu, of course. Belly Drum still threatening as hell, so yeah, let's see what I came up with. So I started off with a Medicham Mega, staple, I think. It's very powerful mon. Sand Headbutt, Low Kick, Bullet Punch, Rock Slide. Low Kick one-shots the Melmetal. I didn't want to run HJK because it can miss, and if I miss, it kills me. So that's very bad. Zen Headbutt's also really nice because he doesn't have a psychic resist really. His psychic resists are Ladi and Melmetal, so it's pretty spammable in that. Also Bullet Punch, just to pick stuff off. Dragapult doesn't one-shot everything, so I figured that Bullet Punch could really just pick off anything that survives. And then I got Rock Slide because he has a Moltres, and Flame Body Moltres is a pretty decent switch into a Medicham. So I thought that would be a pretty nice thing to catch him with. So the second one, of course, Dragapult, specs. Nothing fancy really. His fastest was a Ladi, which is 110, so I could just run Modest with a bunch of bulk. 4 attacks, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Draco. I'm only going to click Shadow Ball, but the other ones are just there for fun, I suppose. Next up we got Mandibus, one of the only real mons that switches into Melmetal. So yeah, it's just defensive with a Rocky Helmet. Taunt, Roost, Foul Play, Knockoff. I figured both of them were nice in case he's some kind of, I don't know, like leftovers Melmetal. I just want to keep it low, so Knockoff is nice, and Foul Play does the most damage to it, so yeah. Next up, another Helmet Mon, Metagross, but this one's offensive, kind of. Still pretty bulky with Sand Headbutt, Earthquake, Toxic Mesh. This is also my Ladi answer, pretty much. It hits it pretty hard, but I still have to be careful of like CM. So, yeah, another Helmet Mon. I guess just to catch the Melmetal, if he goes for Bash or something. I just really want to get rid of that Mon early, so I don't have to switch into it later when everything is chipped. So that's the idea behind the Metagross. And then we have type Null, the best SPDF wall in the game probably, an amazing momentum grabber, so that's what this is for. Roar is pretty much for CM Ladi or something, you know, just whenever I have to face something out, that's just, I think, the best option there. Then last mon we have Nidoqueen with rocks. I didn't have rocks on this team before, so there's rocks now. Taunt's pretty nice. If I lead this and he leads Shuckle, then I can just completely shut that down. And the offensive dual stabs is really nice against him. So that's my team. Let's go into the replay. Now he brings these 6, which nothing too special, I think. I do notice that the Azu is there, so I have to be careful. I don't have Rillaboom to just be an easy switch in. So I have to be careful that he doesn't set up and sweep me. Now I just want to lead with my Nidoqueen because it has a good matchup against pretty much everything except Ladi. I can scare everything out pretty much or just get 3 rocks. So I just lead that. He unfortunately leads Ladi, which is the worst case scenario for me. I have to switch. The easy answer would be Null, but I figured that he would see that coming and just go Melmetal right away. But he doesn't actually. I go Metagross. That's a pretty safe switch in here. Pretty nice mid-ground too. If he goes Melmetal, I can hit that. I can pretty much hit everything except Moltres. So yeah, he goes for Draco, which is fine. I think he shows to be a pretty offensive Ladi here, so I think he's probably scarfed for my my Dragapult. That makes sense, I think. So yeah, I pretty much just what do I do here? I think I just mash here. Yeah. If I get the attack raise here, I'm in a pretty decent position. I 2-shot the Melmetal then. But I don't, so that's fine. I go Mandibuzz because that's the best defensive check I have to this. And I can just gauge what he's going to do if he's Banded or Iron Defense Body Press or AV or whatever. So yeah, Nina, he actually makes a nice double here into the Moltres. I can stay in, he might Toxic me or burn me or just straight up attack me. So I just go into my SPDF wall. Type Null, of course. He goes for Will-O-Wisp, which is fine. I have rest on this, and I don't really need the attack anyway. So I get a free U-turn into whatever here. He doesn't stay in. He goes into Melmetal. So now I get in my Medicham. Now my Medicham kills this with low kick. He probably knows that. He probably sees how important this Melmetal is, so I figured he would switch. He would probably switch into the Moltres here, because if he catches a fighting move, he lives it, and he might burn me with pressure, or with Flame Body. I don't think he showed pressure. No, he didn't show pressure, so I know he's Flame Body. So I didn't want to risk the burn, and if I die here, then I get in my Nidoqueen. So I just risk it, go for Rock Slide. And he does switch, so that's a dead Moltres, very good for me. Get first blood here. He goes into Ladi again. Now here I go into Metagross again, and I don't think that was the play. Looking at his team, he has an Azu, and I don't really have an Azu answer. Not a defensive answer anyway, so switching into Azu is going to be tough, but I risk my only real sort of check to it here, defensive check that is. I could have gone into Null, could have just U-turned out or whatever really, but I go into this and I tank another Draco. So I'm losing costly health on this. But I do just Earthquake on the switch to Melmetal again. I figured that would be his play. Because his lad is at -2 special attack. Now I can just stay in here and hit him again, hoping that he doesn't Earthquake me. Or I can go back into my Mandibus. I figured I just want to delete this thing, so Earthquake was my best answer there. And he just goes for Bash here, which I don't really understand. He later says he was banded, and a banded Earthquake would just straight up destroyed the Metagross here. So yeah, he kills himself here with on my helmet, which is fine. Ladi comes back in to click whatever really. I just sacked this. Could have gone into null, but oh well. So I get in Mandy here to knock. I think knock is a great play here. Nothing really on his team appreciates knockoff. I still think he's scarfed at this point. If I can get rid of the scarf, that's fine. If I can get rid of Azu's item, so I want to see what that is. Or just destroy scarf on Ditto, it's also fine. He chooses Azu to get knocked. And he turns out to be AV, which was something I didn't consider. And it could have really destroyed me, because I would have just clicked anything on my Dragapult and I would expect to kill this, but I wouldn't have. So with the AV gone, this thing is really defensively weak. Offensively still strong, so I have to be careful of switching into liquidations and stuff. I can stay in here, but I do stay in here. I don't know why I actually stayed in here. I still needed the Mandibus for the Bennett, potentially for Ladi. I get a good chip number here with a crit. I should have probably switched out here. He knocks me, which gets rid of my helmet, which doesn't really do anything here. So I just go into my Nidoqueen. I think he would play rough, which he does. And now I make a dumb play, I think. I should have just Earth Powered here, because Sludge Wave is really obvious here, I think. So he would go into Bennett or into Ditto to just catch the Sludge Wave, or just go Ladi, and in that case I get damage. So I click Sludge Wave over Earth Power, and he actually goes into Ditto. Now had I clicked Earth Power, this Ditto would have been gone. Just straight up gone. He makes a nice double as I go into null, because I know my null would wall my own Nidoqueen. So he makes a nice play there. I switch back into Queen, because he would probably knock or play rough, as he does. But now I'm in range of Aqua Jet, and I lose my Nidoqueen, which did nothing this game, which was kind of sad. I think it had a good offensive matchup. But now I get in my Dragapult and I can click buttons. So first kill comes in here, Shadow Ball gone. I don't know why he sacks Ditto. I think Ditto is his best way of revenging this Dragapult, because he later reveals that he doesn't run Scarf on Ladi, which I thought was weird. So this Ditto was really his only way of revenging me. So he loses that now. And he goes into Ladi. I still think he's Scarf, so I switch out, of course, into null. Just drops a Draco, doesn't really do much. Still at a pretty high amount of health, so I don't have to rest yet. But I can just U-turn here, because he doesn't stay in, of course. So Mandy comes back in. Now, I don't think he will stay in with Bennett here. So he probably goes back into the Azu. Now my Medicham is probably the best way of hitting Azu, so I make a double into that, and he does go into Azu. And now I can just click Sand Headbutt. Pretty much my best mid-ground play here. I miss it, which is fine, doesn't really matter. He scares me out, and I go into null on his double to Azu, which was a good play by him, because now I take a lot of damage on null, which probably just straight up takes it out of the game. But I U-turn out, so I can get my build back in, and I pretty much rake in another kill here. He sacks his Bennett, Now he told me after the game that this Bennett was Trick Room, and if he got the Trick Room off, his Azu would have just run through my team. So me killing this was very important actually. He did say that he had difficulties bringing it in, which I could see. So just taking it out here is nice. I pretty much ensure the win here with Dragapult because nothing takes any Shadow Ball hits anymore. Now I still think he's Scarf. He hasn't shown me anything otherwise, so I just switch. I die to the Draco, and now I can get in my Medi and just hit it, see what he does. Does a pretty nice amount of damage, and here he reveals leftovers, which is just like, what the fuck? Like, he successfully bluffed Scarf for 27 turns pretty much, and yeah, now I know just my Dragapult always wins here. So I just keep hitting him a few times. I eventually go into my Mandibuzz because this takes too long. I'm not really gaining much when he's roosting up damage. So Mandy is in, he Shadow Balls. I think he just goes into Azu here. And I just keep clicking buttons until I die, so I get in Dragapult and then I win. So he just play roughs me here, and then he Aqua Jets, so he kills me. Then Dragapult has no resistances anymore. Shadow Ball kills it. Now apparently he had a chance to live this if he was somewhat bulky. He was... I don't know if he was bulky. It didn't really matter, because if I bring him here to like 20%, I kill him with Bullet Punch on my Metacham, so I won anyway. It is nice that both got the kill though. So GG to Andy, good first game. I think I played it pretty well, especially the early game, and then I fell into some classic passiveness as always, I think. But yeah, that was week 1, SSBL season 5. Next week I'll be playing Roggen, which is going to be a good game. I lost to him last season, so I definitely want to beat him this time. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next week, so bye.